I'm not going to read the whole of it because some of it is our well-known position on CAA, NCR, and NPR. We are putting it down so that there is no ambiguity, no confusion. But I will read the material portions. Let me begin by offering all of you, on behalf of the Congress Party, our greetings and good wishes for a happy, prosperous, and peaceful New Year. At the end of 2019, unfortunately, most people were not happy. The economy was certainly not prosperous, and the downslide was continuing. Peace was a casualty. Lynchings and rape were rampant. Protests had broken out all over the country over the CIA, NRC, NPR threat. At least 25 persons were killed in police firing, hundreds were injured, and thousands were arrested, and there was fear and anger everywhere. We are gratified that students and youth are in the forefront of the protests. It lifts our spirits and aspirations when we see thousands of young men and women stand up for liberty, equality, equal protection of the laws, pluralism, secularism, and constitutional morality. The CAA sets 31st December 2014 as a cutoff date. It concerns persons who have already come into India and not those who will come hereafter, a point that is usually missed. It concerns persons who have already come into India. The CIA identifies 3 countries. It identifies 6 religious groups. And the Act says if a person is from one of the 3 countries and professes one of the 6 religions, even if he had entered India illegally before the cutoff date, he would not be considered an illegal migrant and he would be granted citizenship in India. That's what the Act says. Now, a number of questions have been raised. I raised it in the Rajya Sabha. Subsequently, everyone has raised these questions. Not one question has been answered. If it has been answered, one of you please publish the question and the answer. 3 neighboring countries have been included. Why have the others been excluded? Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Bhutan. 6 religious groups have been included. Why have Muslims been excluded? The most persecuted minorities in South Asia are the Tamils of Sri Lanka, both Hindu and Muslim, the Rohingyas of Myanmar, the Ahmadiyyas, Shias, Baluchis, and Sindhis of Pakistan, the Christians of Bhutan, and the Hazaras of Afghanistan. All these groups have been excluded. Why? The absurd and discriminatory provisions of the CIA can be illustrated in just 2 examples. While Hindus will be allowed, Sri Lankan Hindus, mostly Tamil, will not be allowed. While Christians will be allowed, Christians from Bhutan will not be allowed. Why? At this stage, we must answer what the Prime Minister said 2 days ago. He said we should protest in favor of the Dalits and the Hindus and the Sikhs who were persecuted in Pakistan. It's a bogey raised by the Prime Minister. Let me make it clear. We are not opposed to granting refuge and eventually citizenship to any person included under the CAA. Our concerns arise regarding the persons excluded under the CAA. It is obvious that the exclusions are deliberate, premeditated, and intended to harass, humiliate, and strip a section of the people of their citizenship. The answer to the problem of refugees is not CAA, but a humane and non-discriminatory law on refugees. The CAA does not spell out what will be the fate of persons identified as illegal migrants. There is talk of putting them in camps. One camp to house 3,000 persons is under construction at a cost of rupees 46 crore in Goalpora district of Assam. Eminent scholars, sociologists, and NGOs have raised several questions. If lakhs of people are identified, how many camps will the government build? Where will these camps be built? Where will government find the money to build these camps? Will the illegal migrants remain in the camps for the rest of their lives? What will happen to their children? Will they also remain in camps? Will they have education? Will they have health care? None of these questions has been answered. Our conclusion is the NRC is a sinister and mischievous plan to divide India. Under NRC, every person residing in India has to prove that he is a citizen of India. All over the world, in liberal democracies, if a state suspects that a person is not a citizen, the burden of proving that that person is not a citizen lies on the state. On the contrary, under NRC, the burden of proving that he is a citizen falls upon the person concerned. This is contrary to the basic tenets of democracy. It is by applying this perverse burden of proof that 19,06,657 persons have been identified as illegal migrants or stateless persons in Assam. No one knows what their fate will be. As a result of the implementation of both NRC and CAA, the persons who will be directly affected will be the Muslims of India. All other religious groups, even if excluded under NRC, will be included under CAA. Only the Muslims will be identified as illegal migrants under NRC and excluded under CAA. Naturally, there is widespread fear and uncertainty among the Muslims of India. Now they've raised a new bogey, the NPR bogey, and said UPA did it in 2010. Let's get the facts right. The widespread